Hey everybody, I hope you all are doing well in this tough time. So I thought I would share some tips and ideas of some stuff that while we're stuck at home, we can't go to the barns, we can't see our horses, that we can work on our horsemanship. And this is something that's near and dear to my heart. It's called Rein Management. And to me, Rein Management is the holy grail of horsemanship. 20 years ago, when I used to team rope and work with steer wrestling horses and stuff, I knew nothing about this, and as I started studying, I learned more about rein management, and it changed my life working with horses. So rein management, when we think about rein management, is we're really breaking down the angles and how we hold our reins and how we gather up our reins when we're riding. And there's two different ways that we ride horses. Is either Western or trail riding, we should be riding on a loose rein, or if it's more the English disciplines or we're doing correction or Western dressage, we're gonna ride with light contact to get collection or soft collection or correction. And I'll talk about that a little bit more. But the thing is, this has to be practiced over and over again, a million times, because when we're talking about safety and being able to get the contact that we need, we have to practice it. It has to be natural instinct. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. I have some reins, and this is something we can do at home while we're watching our favorite TV show or watching some horse shows, is take some reins, tie them to a chair, sit on your couch, get your potato chips out, and do this for 15-20 minutes a day. It will change your life and it will save your life with horses. So rein management, meaning that, first of all, when I ride with a loose rein, when I have the distance of my reins, how far should they be from the bit to me? I like it to just reach my chest if we're talking loose reins, okay? So if we have loose reins and I pull back, it should hit my chest right there. Anything farther is too much, and anything shorter is going to be too tight. So all I want to do is I'm going to talk about one rein management first, meaning that when I pick up my reins, I'm going to slide my hand down my rein. I'm going to slide it down right to where I get light contact, meaning that I'm just touching the bit in the corner of the mouth. So one rein. So what I want to do is think about, when you're doing this, is think about if you were riding a horse correctly. And what I see a lot when people do one reins is they lean forward for the rein. That actually gets us out of position. So I want to be sitting up. As I slide my hand down that rein, I'm going to engage my core and I'm going to put my hips underneath me. So I'm going to slide my hand down. We're going to do a bow and arrow technique, meaning that I'm going to slide my right and I'm going to pull my elbow straight up. Pulling that elbow straight up is the trick to all of this, because as long as I pull my elbow up, I can get as far down that rein as I need to. If I pull my elbow back, meaning so if I pull my elbow up, I can get all the way down this rein. If I pull my elbow back, see how there's still slack in the rein? See, I can't pull hard enough to get contact with the bit. But if I do this, I can. Okay, so bow and arrow technique. I also want to practice my body position. So anytime that we are to do a one rein or do any kind of lateral bending, I want to engage my core and I want to get my hips underneath me. Because if you think of a one rein stop or bending our horse when they're nervous or scared or want to bolt, as my horse takes off, I do not want to be leaning forward. I want to engage my core and get my hips underneath me. So all I'm going to do, left, right, and this is all I'm going to do is practice. Left, right, elbows up, just like a bow and arrow. I'm riding my horse on a loose rein, my horse spooks. I can get down there without thinking about it and get that contact. That's Sonny in the background making some noise. Here's the thing, and this is where so many people get in wrecks. A lot of people want to ride with a loose rein, but they're too nervous to ride with a loose rein because they don't know if they can gather up their reins to get their horse stopped or under control. So they ride kind of in between, in the middle, the gray area. And now our horse spooks. And generally when a horse spooks, they root their nose, so they stretch your arms out, they stretch the reins out. So if I'm in the middle here, see how my elbows are behind me? I can no longer pull any harder on these reins without leaning back or twisting my body. There's nowhere to go. I've run out of real estate. That means my horse's nose is still fully in control. So we have to learn how to get to where that contact is. One, right there, I've got contact. I can bend my horse around. If I get here, I've got nothing. I can't stop my horse. This has to be instinct, meaning the second my horse gets tight. So we just practice this. 1, 2, I'll do this for 15 minutes. I still do this all the time, on the ground and riding. And if we really think about it, my horse gets tight, nervous, and goes to bolt, I engage my core and get my hips underneath me, because that's home base. That's our safety position, no matter what we're riding, is to get underneath our hips and in our saddle. We don't ever want to be here. So I see a lot of people doing one rein stops, and they reach and they lean forward. That's going to send you over the front if your horse is really doing anything bad. So we've got our one rein, okay? And then we have our two rein, meaning that I can ride with a loose rein, or if my reins get long, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put my hand in the middle. I'm going to grab right underneath my knuckle, because I can always find my reins right there. Meaning that if a horse is doing something, I grab here, I might not find my reins. I can always find my reins. Same thing, bow and arrow technique. I'm going to slide my hand down to where I have light contact. I'm going to fold my reins forward, get them out of the way, and then I'm going to pull my reins apart. So I'm going to bow and arrow, slide, fold, separate, pull my reins apart, and then I'm going to hold. Okay? I want to know whenever I want, if I'm riding with the loose rein and I need to correct a horse and get them collected, pick up a shoulder or make sure that they stop, that I can go from a loose rein, slide, get my contact, fold, separate, and then hold and engage my core. Drive them up into collection, drive them up into the bridle, or do whatever I need to do. Okay? Horses get broke from being rode in a loose rein. That's the truth. When we ride them in a loose rein, they get to relax. But a lot of people don't ever want to let them ride in a loose rein because they don't know if they can get stuff gathered up. So we can go from a loose rein, my horse's head comes up, I need to correct it, or they start to get tight. I just slide my hand down, fold, contact. Okay? And I will practice this too, just basic riding. I'm going to look up. I'm going to lean forward. If we're just riding, naturally, I'm going to lean forward. I'm going to squeeze. Before I pull my reins, I'm going to sit, let them feel my seat, get my hips underneath me, slide, fold, separate, hold. Okay? And then I'm going to do whatever I want to do. Drive them up into the bridle or correct, pick up shoulders, you name it. So what I want you guys to do is get some reins. We're just going to bow and arrow. Remember, straight up, not back here. You'll never get contact here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And we do the two reins, two-handed reins, or two reins, one hand on both sides. So we work both sides. So my left hand, slide, fold, separate. My right hand, slide, fold, separate. Okay, so I'm just going to do this one more time really slow. Elbow up, bow and arrow. Okay, so I get that contact. Slide up. This also is great because for me, I ride a lot of different horses, so I'm always have different bridles and different reins. I get on clients' horses all the time. Sometimes their reins are this long, sometimes they're this short. I know I can get where I need to get contact because I have practiced this so many times. So it doesn't matter if my reins are this long or they're really short. Also, when we practice this one rein, if our reins ever break, we'll be able to get down that rein that's still connected. Okay, so real slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then lots of people ask when you fold or when you fold the rein forward. So in a Western saddle, if we don't go to the side, meaning we're not going in the middle of the reins, if we go in the middle of the reins, it'll get caught on the saddle horn. So we don't want to do that. So we always fold to the side. And I think even if we're riding English, it's nice to just get them out to the side, out of the way. Practice this, have fun with this. I promise you, becoming an expert with this will change your horsemanship forever. Have fun, stay safe, and we will see you guys down the road.